morning to talk about the 4th of July activities. Given that we didn't have our celebration the way we would have liked to last year because of COVID, this year we will start our 4th of July activities at Point State Park. The city will have some programming down there starting around 6:30, family fun activities, some big games, we'll have some bands, and we'll have fireworks that are starting at 9:35. So looking forward to celebrating the 4th of July like we have done traditionally in the past. And now I'd like to turn it over to Shatara Murphy, the Assistant Director of Public Safety.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here this morning. We have heard the concerns of the community as well as others about violence that has recently occurred in our area as a result of a number of things as we experience this pandemic. Unfortunately, we're no exception to this. This is a trend that has been happening across the nation, and we have seen it hit us hard here in our area locally. However, we don't want to take away from a great 4th of July celebration that is owed to the community at large. Therefore, taking in consideration some good advisors that have talked to us about their concerns, Public Safety has definitely decided to ramp up some efforts for the 4th of July so that we can make sure that we keep everyone safe and that we can have a peaceful and joyous 4th of July celebration since we did not get to partake in that last year. And so I'm going to turn it over to our Public Safety Director, Wendell Hisrick, and he will tell you a little bit about what we're going to do in public safety to make sure that we keep everybody safe this weekend and we all can enjoy our 4th of July.
Thank you, Shatara. Good morning. As Shatara mentioned, we are taking a little bit more efforts in providing public safety this year due to the concerns that have been expressed locally and what's going on nationally with the violence. We certainly encourage people to come downtown and have a good time. However, we certainly want to make it a safe and pleasant experience. And with that being said, since the mayor made the announcement that we were going to have the 4th of July celebration several months ago, we've been working nonstop. And it's not only the city's public safety, but the Allegheny County Police Department, the Port Authority Police, the Port Authority, our Emergency Management Agency, our EMS, as well as the State Police and our Public Safety EMS and Fire. And also, let me say, the State Police will be providing a lot of resources as well. It's probably a much more than what we had in 2 years ago as far as the resources that we are putting into this effort. And you will see an abundance of police officers. You will see lights throughout the city, light towers. We have basically will position more than a dozen light towers through our downtown business district. There will also be officers that will be in plain clothes that you will not see. There'll be officers from high vantage points. We will have mounted units from the Allegheny County Police, from the State Police, the city's police, our River Rescue, our Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire, fireboat will be in the water, and medics and police officers on motorcycles and bicycles. Some concerns that we have normally, whether it be light up night, 4th of July, is impaired drivers, intoxicated drivers. We will certainly be on the lookout for them. During the time of the fireworks, there'll be no stopping on any of the bridges. The state police will strictly enforce that. We are always concerned with making sure individuals coming downtown for the festivities are hydrated. Every year we see dehydration. And the other thing that we are very concerned about is people seem to be bringing their pets downtown. Why, I don't know. Pets and fireworks, they just don't match. But so those are things that normally we stress, especially when we have fireworks displays. We are asking that if you see something, say something, call 911, if you see any type of threats or any type of violence occurring. As we routinely do during these type of events, we're always in constant contact with the FBI and Homeland Security, and there is no specific articulated threat towards the Pittsburgh area or western Pennsylvania. We ask that you, if you're going into the Point State Park, that you go to pittsburghpa.gov in the July 4th portion of that to see the prohibited items going into Point State Park. There will be security checkpoints, bags will be checked. Individuals will also be warned to make sure that they are not carrying any type of firearms or any type of weapons that could be harmful. So we really want everyone to have a good time, and we want to prevent anything from happening. We will have the resources not only downtown but throughout the city. We concentrate on downtown, but we're aware that individuals are in the North Shore, they're in South Side, they're in Mount Washington, and we will have extra officers and resources throughout all those areas while maintaining a presence of public safety throughout the city. So with that, I will turn it over to Chief Schubert. And Chief.
Thanks, Director. I'm not going to repeat a lot of the things that the Director said, but fireworks in Pittsburgh, that's a part of our tradition of who we are. So we're glad to see, especially coming off the pandemic, that people can get out and enjoy themselves. We want people to come down to Pittsburgh and have a good time, enjoy the fireworks. And we're going to do everything we can under law enforcement with our allied partners and other public safety officials to keep people safe. I can tell you when you're downtown, you're going to see police officers in uniform all over the place. If there's any issues or any concerns or any questions, please feel free to go up and talk to the officers. A big part of what we're going to be doing is engaging the public while we're down there. We'll have a number of officers, but our community engagement, outreach workers and whatnot, who are there to help you with whatever you need. As I said, it's our responsibility as law enforcement is to not just keep people safe, but make them feel safe. And that's going to be our primary focus. We're going to use every resource we have to do that, and look forward to serving the public while we're down there, and just to ensure that it's a family-friendly and safe event for everybody. So that's all I have for right now, and I'm going to introduce County Executive Rich Fitzgerald.
Thanks, Chief, and thanks, Director, and thanks all of you for being here. As we get on the other side of this pandemic, what we have seen throughout the month of June have been larger than normal crowds at just about every event that we've seen. Some of our concerts we've had in our parks, some other events in the city and outside of the city. As last year we didn't get to do this, but this is one of our signature events for this region is fireworks, the 4th of July, the fireworks demonstration. So many families want to come downtown and enjoy this beautiful, great city that we have, and we certainly want them to do that again this year. As you've heard from the previous speakers, we want everybody to be safe. We want this to be for someone like Justice here and her brothers and sisters and cousins and friends with their families, with the parents, the grandparents, all coming down and enjoying a great celebration. When we talk about independence, it's not just Independence Day that we celebrate for over 200 years. It's independence from this pandemic too, as people can take off their masks and get out and celebrate again with each other as a community. The county's going to be involved. We'll be certainly supporting the mayor and the City of Pittsburgh Police with county police, as was mentioned by Wendell. Our Port Authority Police will be there, and we'll also have enhanced service from our bus and light rail systems. What we do encourage people, though, is when the fireworks end around 10 o'clock, start to head towards that bus, because, you don't want to miss that last one going out of town. We want to make sure there's enough service on there, but if you loiter too long, you may put that at risk, and we don't want to see that to happen. And the other thing I would also remind everybody is everything is on camera. There are cameras everywhere, so for the folks that think they're going to do things and not be detected, they will be. It will be on camera, and it will be known, and we'll make sure that people that do those bad things are prosecuted. But we want everybody to have a good time, want everybody to enjoy the festivities and enjoy exactly what we're doing on there. So with that, Let me introduce Reverend Cornell Jones, City of Pittsburgh Group Violence Intervention Coordinator. Reverend?
He's not here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading off the thing. Certainly not less. I know this guy's shy, so we always got to drag him up here to do some things, but it's our good friend, Reverend Derek Times. Reverend?
Good morning. I want to just say to you as a coordinator and new organization called Faith in Blue, we are pastors and faith leaders that are working with law enforcement to increase public safety in our communities and neighborhoods. And we want to, for this weekend, encourage you to bring your families and come out this weekend and celebrate as families, people of faith, with your families, and not send your children and not send your teenagers downtown, but to bring them and make this a family event that we all celebrate and that we are all part of, and help us to reduce any kind of incidents that may occur this weekend. We have some other ministers and pastors and leaders here, and we encourage you to bring your faith with you and celebrate your liberty. Thank you.
Kind of wanted Reverend Grayson, pastor of Wesley Center Zion Church, and Executive Director of REACH, which is a part of the outreach for this entity. We will have a group of outreach workers in the community on that day on 4th of July, and we'll be canvassing the area as we always do. And so again, I'm excited about all the work that's going in to make this community safe for everyone. Everyone enjoy the 4th of July. Come on out and let's make Pittsburgh, the great Pittsburgh that we know, the most livable city. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Minister Janice Myers, and when I got the call today that they were looking for some prayers to cover the city of Pittsburgh during this holiday time, this Justice is my great-granddaughter. And having said that, the legacy of Pittsburgh, who has always been on the forefront of great things that have been happening. We just recently had a very successful Juneteenth celebration, a lot of celebrations in the community that the people came together. But at the beginning of those things, behind the scenes, was a lot of prayers going on by the ministers in this great city. So as part also of the faith and police movement that is bringing together the ministers across the nation and the police departments across the nation to not only discuss strategies to successfully communicate and bring all groups of people together to come up with ways to be accountable on all sides, but to also, first and foremost, be the forerunner in changing the atmosphere through prayer. Because what we know is that always church leaders have always been on the forefront of anything that has been successful and long-lasting. So for that, we are here today to represent everyone included for mine and your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, so that not only is the 4th of July weekend safe for all of us, but that Pittsburgh becomes a safe place, this nation becomes a safe place for all involved.
Good morning. I too am Reverend Grayson, but I'm Reverend Philip Grayson. First, I'd like to thank the individuals that represent law enforcement here this morning. I believe that it's key that the community has to learn to build a better relationship with law enforcement. We've had for so many years a breakdown in communication between law enforcement and particularly the black communities. I myself, prior to becoming a member of clergy, I too used to indulge in street activity. And it's almost impossible for an individual who has never participated in any illegal activities to fully understand the concepts, if I may, of criminal activity. There's several different ways that we can, as a group, reach these communities where continued gang violence and gun violence is prevalent. And the fact that the leaders of the law enforcement community is here is extremely encouraging. I believe we can do that. But in order to do that, we have to have open lines of communication. I believe we can get there. I'd like to thank one of the best mayors the city has ever seen, Mayor Peduto. It's going to be hard to see him go because he was such a tremendous mayor to the city. He's done a lot for the city, and I'm really going to miss this guy. Great guy, Mr. Fitzgerald, absolute wonderful guy. But again, the celebration for the 4th of July is not just a celebration of independence. I wanted to clarify for all communities, especially the Black community, that this is a celebration of love and peace, and let's make it that this weekend. Love and peace. God bless.
Hello, my name is Jarrell Gilliam. I'm the Executive Director at Light of Life Rescue Mission, also Associate Pastor of New Wine Harvest Church, and a member of Reconciliation Ministries International under Bishop Garlington. As I think about our time here together, Pittsburgh is a city of bridges, and this is a day for all of us to celebrate. As I think of, for Light of Life, we are concerned for those who are unstably housed. We have outreach teams that are going to be out during this day looking for people who need assistance in any way. That I believe that our city once again can lead the way in showing that Pittsburgh is a place that welcomes everyone. So thank you again for this opportunity.
Well, first off, I want to thank everyone that is standing beside me, behind me. This event is a tradition in the city of Pittsburgh. As we're coming off of COVID, as the county executive said, we're seeing crowds at events that far exceed the size of crowds before COVID began. And we realize with that, there may be some trepidation of, should I bring my family? Should I go to this event? And what we're all here to say is yes. And as Reverend Tynes said, don't send your child, bring your child. This is an opportunity for a wonderful family event and a Pittsburgh tradition to share. And we want to make it a safe environment for everyone. I want to take a moment to thank the ministers that are behind me. They have on their own created a new organization called Faith in Blue, an organization that is led by over 100 ministers throughout Allegheny County. And what they have done is created the communication between community and law enforcement, of building that absolute critical bridge, because unless you have communication, you won't see results. And until you build the mutual respect between law enforcement and community and law enforcement, you won't see change. These ministers have taken it upon themselves in order to provide our city and our region with that critical tool. And working together with them at an event like this shows how important that role is and how it needs to be expanded over the next several years. I've had the honor over the course of my lifetime to work with many of the people from many of the churches that are being represented. And I can assure you that to a young person who may be thinking, this is an opportunity to get away with something, one deterrent is having an officer at the corner, but a much stronger deterrent is seeing the pastor from the church of your neighborhood on the corner. And we want to be able to utilize both, to be able to say, we are here in order to be able to make sure this event is for everyone. And we want everyone to enjoy their city. And we want to be able to do so in a way that brings us together as a community and not separate us as a community. So this approach, which is a little bit different than the strictly law enforcement approaches that we've used in the past, but that will still be present and it will be visible. Is a way that I believe in working into the future can be proven to be very effective of keeping peace. That's our goal. It's an opportunity to celebrate Independence Day, the birth of our nation, and the independence away from COVID, and the ability to gather once again as an entire community. You will see more police. It will be very visible. I want to thank the county executive for supplying to the city officers from the Port Authority, officers from the county, an extended bus schedule to be able to get people safely to the city and after the event back home. Without that type of a partnership, these types of events simply are not possible. But I also want to assure people that when you see more police, it's for one reason. It's to assure everyone that you will be safe.